So we're going to start with our feet on the wall, and the ball starts just around the mid-back, lower back area, and then start stretching and bending your legs. So this is quite similar to working on the reformer. So I started off with my feet parallel, and then I've changed to having my heels together and toes turned out in a Pilates V. And then I changed so my toes are towards each other and heels are apart. So the hips are in internal rotation. And then change into a wide second position or wide external rotation. So if you've ever done the reformer work, you know all these feet position. Then move your feet in together. And then we do some treading on the spot or running on the spot. So lift your heels and then lower down. So on the wall, it doesn't feel as good as when your feet are on the bar of the reformer, but still feels pretty nice. And then increase the balance challenge by pressing away and lifting one knee. Now, if your neck feels tired, you can always take your hands behind your head and cradle your head and neck, and it takes away any strain on your neck. But if you keep your arms reaching out like I am in this video, you can get a little bit more tone in your upper arms. And then we go on to single leg and we add some choreography. So bend and stretch, reaching the leg up towards the ceiling or up towards the sky. And you notice that you might start to wiggle a little bit on the fit ball. That's great for working all the deep muscles. Now, then I've changed to putting the ball underneath my upper back. So I was trying to replicate some of the movements that we do on the reformer. So I didn't have any decent sized hand weights. So I've just used my kids' water bottles. So I filled them up with water, and they're only 350 mils, so it doesn't weigh very much, but it still gives you that feeling of getting a little bit of extra tone in your arms as you're taking your arms up and down or in and out. And then I added some circles. So unlike when you're on the reformer, you can only do half circles. When you're on the ball, you can do really big circles, really great for shoulder mobility, great for working your upper back. And by keeping your hips up high on the ball, you get really nice tone in your backside and nice tone in the back of your legs. Then I've added the circles around the other way. And then arms up high, bend and stretch the elbows behind you. So you're getting more tone through the back of the arms. So toning your bye-bye arms or making sure you haven't got bye-bye arms. Now then I went into a curl up for the hundreds prep. So play around with where the ball is behind your upper back. So I've moved a little higher now because I wasn't really feeling it in my abs. So you go back into extension, great for your posture, and then curl up until you feel your tummy muscles start to work. Exhale to curl up, and then inhale to stretch right back. And then stay up. And then start to do some hundreds breathing. So this is quite fun because you do bounce on the ball. So pumping the arms for 5, turning the palms up and down, breathing in for 5, breathing out for 5. And then come all the way up to sitting. And then walk out and stretch out through the arms, stretch out through the legs. It should feel really fantastic on your back. If it doesn't, just try making the position of the ball a little different. Try it a little higher or a little lower. Then the next exercise replicates bridging with leg extension on the reformer. So if you haven't done the reformer, this is just a really great exercise to get more mobility in your spine. So that reduces the risk of injury in your back and also helps to strengthen your back and improves your posture. And by rolling up and down and then staying up and then moving the ball out and in, you'll get really great tone in your bikini bottom muscles and your miniskirt muscles. Change the position of your feet, so heels are together, toes are turned out, just like I did in the beginning of the video with the footwork. So as you roll up and down, think of peeling your spine off the mat and aim your sitting bones towards the back of your knees. If you can see yourself in a mirror, when you come up to the top, you want to have a really long straight line from your shoulders to your knees. And then roll the ball away, roll it back in. Think of dragging the heels towards the sitting bones. And then roll all the way down. Change the position of the feet again. So now we've got internal rotation of the hip joint. So the knees are towards each other, toes are towards each other. And you might notice that this feels a little bit weird because it's not a position that we often do to do things like bridging, but it's great to get more mobility at your hip joint. And it also starts to stretch out your IT band. IT bands tend to get a little bit tight if you've done a lot of running or a lot of sitting, all the things that you might be doing while we're in self-isolation or lockdown. And then change the position so now your feet are out really wide. So the hips are in external rotation, or it's like a ballet second position. As you roll up and down, think of spiraling the bones of the thighs around and underneath, or think of spiraling the muscles in the thighs around and underneath. So you lift up, feel a really nice tone in your backside, nice tone in the back of the legs. And then roll the ball away, roll it back in, keeping the hips up as high as you can, pressing down through the hands so that you're getting tone in your upper arms as well. And then change the position of the ball. Catch the ball in between your ankles and feet. Take your hands a tiny bit wider. And then take the ball halfway side to side. So we've done a lot so far just keeping the spine straight. Now you start to get a little bit of rotation through the spine. Great to tone the muscles in the side waist. And then we're going to curl up, keep the ball in your hands, and then taking the legs up and down, imagining that you're doing feet in straps on the reformer. So if you're on the reformer, obviously you get some assistance and resistance from the springs. Here, you're going to get more work in your abs, but still feels nice. Well, it doesn't feel nice, still feels good. But if your head and if your neck starts to get tired, you can lower your head, neck and shoulders down or take a little break in between each type of movement. So the first movement was straight up and down. Then the second one is leg circles and then reverse. And then from here, heels together, toes turned out, stretch and bend the legs for the frogs. And then we can take it into a frog kick. So you bend, stretch your legs out into a V shape and then bring the heels together. Reverse the frogs, go out into a high V, bend and stretch. And then lower the legs down, take the arms overhead, take a breath in, and then as you exhale, roll on up, reach forward, and then reach up towards the sky. Roll down one bone at a time, just like you did in bridging. Reaching forward, reach up towards the sky. And then turn into a Z sit. We're ready to do the mermaid. So roll the ball away and put a little bit of pressure through the little finger side of your hand, so you're getting more tone through the back of the arms and getting more tone in your side waist. So the side waist that's closest to the ground gets more tone. The side waist that's closer to the sky gets more of a stretch. And then we do a reverse mermaid. So you open up towards the sky. Inhale to extend through the spine. Change around. Sitting in your Z sit. If a Z sit is not comfortable, you could sit with your legs in a diamond shape, or you could cross your legs. Whatever feels best for you. Stay over in the side bend, and then inhale to open up into the reverse mermaid. So you're opening up through the chest. And then roll the ball towards you. Put the ball underneath your tummy. Stretch out your arms, stretch out your legs. And then we do a variation of the quadruped. So you're reaching opposite arm, opposite leg away from you. A little bit like swimming. But here it's a little bit more challenging for balance because the ball's underneath your stomach. Then take your hands behind your head and we go into some extension for the spine. So this is a great way to strengthen all the muscles in your back. So we inhale to lift, exhale to lower down. Just lift as far as it feels comfortable on your lower back. But because the ball is underneath your abs, it's a really great way to find where it feels comfortable for you to do extension. So move the ball a little higher, a little lower, or even put your feet against the wall if you need a little bit more support. And then reach the arms up and down like the reverse hundreds. Take a little stretch back. And then take the ball underneath your tummy again. And then reach forward, bring the knees in towards your chest. And then stretch away, stretch your arms away. This is like doing a reverse double leg stretch. Great for toning the lower abdominals. And because you're balancing on your arms, good for upper arm strength or strength through the upper body. And then in one of my other videos, I was saying how bad my push-ups are. They're much easier on the ball. I'll keep practicing them on the mat.